Alright, so, what do we have here? Let's go have a look. Whoa. This is a crazy tall power tower. A shout out to Uncle Samuel for providing this blueprint for review. We'll catch up with him in a bit. Alright, let's have a closer look at this absolute monstrosity of a blueprint. This thing is absolute insanity. Alright, let's get to the top. It actually doesn't get all to use this hypertube cannon. It just bumps you up all the way to the top. Alright, let's go. Jeez, this thing is crazy. Just look at this thing. This is it's crazy tall. And here we go. So obviously this is a creative world. This is just to demonstrate the blueprint. This was sent to me by one of our community members going by the name of Uncle Samuel. And he really wanted to showcase this blueprint, and I can see why, because this thing's crazy. It's just really impressive. And it is extremely radioactive up here. Anyways. So let's have a closer look at just about everything that's in here. Just belts and machines and stuffs and things. I think it's quite radioactive, probably because of these guys. Anyway, so you got belts coming up every which way. There's some manufacturers up here. You got this little assembler dude sitting up here. So there's another one below it actually. And we've got a blender. Just a magnitude of pipes and conveyor belts and things moving back and forth. And this is just on the top floor, and as we go down you'll see it will just keep going and going and going. We'll try and find a little spot to squeeze through here as we go down. So you got a packager, you got a couple of blenders, you've got another manufacturer sitting up here. Oops, let me try and get to, I think this is going to be a better spot to go down. I'll try and find like a clean way to go down. So yeah, this is where you can see it's just it's just unending. It just keeps going and going and going. And the amount of time it must have taken to get everything in position, to troubleshoot it, to work it into a blueprint as well. It's extremely well done, but this must have been it must have taken ages to do. You got a couple of radioactive nuggets up here. And the thing is, we're not even that far down yet. This is just like the top section, and we just keep going down, and it's just more and more and more things. So we can see there's a little bit of clipping going on here and there, but it is, I think, well within acceptable parameters. There's nothing serious, like egregious happening. It's just to make everything fit into this blueprint. It's crazy good. Right, so this is one of the first reactors. And let's keep going, because we got quite a while to go still. And as you can see, I think we might be about halfway down this tower. But just look at everything here. There's so many like little nooks and crannies, and everything is just stuffed full of belts, machines, conveyors, and everything. And as you can see here, we've got a bunch of conveyor lifts up here. We've got priority mergers. I think those are programmable splitters, just set up everything. And it must have taken ages to balance everything out and get everything done correctly. All the calculations, it must have taken ages. And what we'll do is we'll hit him up in a bit, and we'll see exactly how much time it's taken to do this. But I mean, just look at everything here, and here we are at the bottom now. So that's the last of the reactors. But this is just, yeah, this is crazy. The one thing that I saw when I was checking this out, I was looking up and I was just going through the entire build, and it just kind of gave me this weird feeling like I'm walking down a hallway, even though I'm flying up or down, whatever the case was at the time. But let's see if we can do this. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this, so it's kind of like a floor. And it just looks like we're just gliding down a floor, like a massive hallway of just machines and belts and splitters and whatnot. And if you keep at this for a little bit, you'll see that your brain just kind of switches to, oh, you're walking on the floor and you're in like a big hallway, and it just kind of messes with you a little bit. It's kind of cool, actually. It was especially once I get past the reactors, you can see it seems like a little bit more believable that it's just like a massive hallway, and you've got like this weird sensation of you're going up a floor or you're going down a floor as opposed to going vertically up and down. But it just really gives you a big sense of the scope of this project, and I have to say I am in awe of this project. It's extremely well done. So here you can see now, it just looks like I'm running down a hallway somewhere with just machines and everywhere going. And this is like I measured it out. This is a 1.5 kilometer hallway of just machines and industrial stuff and things and whatnot. So let's squeeze out here. And there you can see how high up we were actually. Alright, so let's try. let's do the elevators. We'll see how many elevators we have to stack at its maximum range to get to the top of this blueprint. So this is elevator number 1, 196 meters. This is another 196 meters. I don't even think we're halfway yet. Grab a third elevator, going up another 196 meters. So this is elevator number 4. Oh wait, there we go. so I think we're gonna go to elevator number 5. Grab this guy and put him up. And I don't even think this one's gonna make it. So this is elevator number 6 now, I think. And it just keeps going. So I think we're gonna need 7 elevators at 196 meters just to get to the top. I don't even think this one's gonna make it. Oh, no, not even 7 elevators at max range stacked on top of each other is able to get to the top of this monstrosity of a blueprint. So to get to the top, so let's say we're gonna eyeball this one. 74 meters. So that is gonna be 196 times 7 elevators. This gives us 1,372 plus another 7 meters for the foundations, plus what is that going to be? 74 meters. So you're looking at just under 1.5 kilometers to get not even to the tippy top. If you want to go all the way up, you're gonna have to add this in here. So let's actually do that. Let's see. Let's do all the way up. 8 elevators, almost at max. So let's call it 180 meters, 185 meters to get to the top. 7 times 196. So it'll give us 1372 plus 183 plus 6 meters just to go from the base level to the top. So this is just under 8 elevators at max range or at max height stacked on top of each other just to get to the top, basically just slightly over the top of it. So let's see how long this is going to take for me to fall down. I suppose that's one way to also measure it. So let's see. I've got a timer set here and let's go. God damn. This is so tall. Ooh, are we gonna do 40 seconds? Let's see. Boom. 41 seconds for to fall all the way from the top down to the bottom. That is craziness. There's a massive bus that comes down underneath where those belts pop out. There's a massive bus that goes to all of these areas where he's pulling resources from. And let me actually show you guys. It's kind of cool how he did it. I'm gonna pop through here all the way down, and then all the way at the bottom of the earth. Well, at the bottom of Massage. To ABB Bay, that one. And you can see now we are obviously under the map. And it's just conveyor belts to the sides, left and right sides. That's just bringing in a ton of raw resources that's then being processed by the entire tower, which then in turn generates the 90 gigawatts of power. So 90,000 megawatts in total that this tower generates. It's quite crazy. So there's an example, for instance. Let me put that away. There you can see, so just out there is, what's that, sand? Or is it quartz crystal? Quartz crystal. Goes up from there, and it just kind of like goes up to wherever the miner is. So, like I say, kind of interesting way of doing it. Obviously, this is under the map, but this is just to feed the blueprint. So this is obviously not a functional, playable world. I suppose you could if you really want to, but the whole idea here is just to get the resources to the tower, and then the focus is entirely just the tower. All right, here we go. So we can go back up again. So you can actually see how far down we are. It was actually quite a bit. And here's the water table, or the oceans basically. And then we're just gonna pop right out of here. That was cool. But yeah, so the blueprints themselves, if you go in here, you can see there is quite an extensive list of blueprints available. Everything from water extractors to packages. This is the water packaging. And if we go to nuclear plant, so this is to grab. If I can just put it over here. All right, we'll lock it in there. And this just kind of like gives you an idea of how the blueprints work. And you'll see they're all of these guys will auto-connect to each other. And it's just going to make your life so much easier. But like I say, yeah, the full details, it takes quite a while to get the tower up and running when placing everything down, and obviously getting all the resources fed into it. All right, so the actual towers here, you can see kind of how the blueprints are divided up. So at the bottom, we've got the nuclear plant, 01L X15, and then there's another one of those. So there's going to be obviously a few of these guys as we go up. Let's see how high they go. I think they're going to go all the way up to there. There we go. And then we're going to move over to the secondary version for the nuclear plants. And this is going to be... Oh, there we go. It's nuclear power. And these you can see obviously are all duplicates. But this is for the outside, and the inside has got its own set of blueprints. So it's quite an involved set of blueprints. Yeah, this is truly amazing. And the best of all is this is going to be freely available on a Google Drive that he's going to share. So you guys can download this one now. Just check the description and you can see everything that's available. And just the sheer scope of it gets me every time. Anyways, we're going to move over and we're going to get some information from him. And right, so today we're here with Uncle Samuel, the guy who made this rather cool blueprint. But yeah, just introduce yourself and just tell us who you are and where you're from.
Thank you. Yeah, so my name is Uncle Samuel, and I am both a Satisfactory player and an author, and I've published a few books on Amazon and Royal Road as well. And I'm actually a guy living in the United States, and I'm actually role-playing as one of the characters in my book series, Shadow of Prometheus, and that character is Uncle Samuel. Ironically enough, when I booted up Satisfactory today, it said I played 5,000 hours total, and I'm like, where did all that time go? I don't remember any of it.
So this blueprint, let's cut straight to the chase here. This blueprint you made, it's quite impressive. Is it 90,000 megawatts, if I remember correctly, or 90 gigawatts?
Yep, 90 gigawatts of power.
Nice, and it's all nuclear power with whatever alternative recipes and standard recipes you use to get to the end result. Most of us make blueprints or something like this that's on the extreme side, probably more because you want to see if you can do it. But then also the second part of it is you really want to share it to people, which is why you approached me to to do something like this where we can cover it and showcase it to people? Is it just a matter of you just want to share the passion, or what's your motivation for making it and then also wanting to get the word out and sharing it?
Yeah, that's a good question, or multiple questions. So, the project originally started when I was talking to the sushi master Vencam. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he does a lot of sushi designs, and I was actually talking to him about it one time because I spent a lot of time designing different nuclear plants. And this was like I think at least 2 years ago. Him and I think he kind of made a joke or slash challenge to me. He was like, "Oh, you should try building a nuclear plant, but it's a complete vertical stack using sushi lines." And this was back then when we had only the Mark One blueprint, and I was like, that's crazy. But then I actually did it. I actually built, a few years ago, a Mark One blueprint plant. It did not include the particle accelerator or the reactor because you can't really fit those in there. But everything else I was able to fit in there. I think it consumed like 88 uranium per minute, so it was kind of a small nuclear factory. But I was able to get it to work. The reason why I decided to do it again is for many different reasons. One of it is because I enjoy the challenge. I think it's fun. It's because when you're working inside of a blueprint, you have to think very differently on how you're going to fit everything in there, what sacrifices you're going to make, and how you're going to make it look good as well. And I like making blueprints in general because it just makes things easier. So like if I do another playthrough and I want 90,000 megawatts of power, boom, I'm done. I got I got the blueprints ready to go. But the other reason why I decided to share this with the community was because over the several years that I've played this game and talking to other people, especially streamers who play this game, I've heard multiple times from multiple people that they just never touch nuclear power and they usually just stick with oil power. And I thought to myself, well, why don't I just make a complete solution so that you don't have to worry about all that intimidation stuff?
Speaking of the blueprints, so what is actually included in the blueprints themselves? Just to kind of break this down for people watching the video now. Like besides all the blueprint items that you need, my first assumption would be, well, you just need to funnel all the required resources to the tower itself. Would that be correct?
That you are correct. That before you set up the plant, you should bring in all the resources on the site and set up the water extractors and the packagers as well before you start building the plant.
And the tower, is that made in Blueprint Mark 3?
Yeah, so everything is vanilla, and no, it's all Mark II. The other design philosophy that I forgot to mention here is that I specifically built these blueprints so that anybody who is transitioning from phase 3 to phase 4, that's what this is built for. It's built for that tier of technology. You don't need anything like you don't need Mark 6 belts, you don't need a Mark 3 blueprint. You can build all of this in phase 3. And that was the original purpose of it, was to help people in that area of the game.
So all about accessibility.
Yep, accessibility, yep.
So assuming that you've got enough power shards and you've got all the raw resources, everything is basically good to go before you start building the actual tower. How long do you think it will take somebody to build the tower, let's say for the second time, because they've already kind of like messed around with it a little bit and now they want to build it proper in their world?
I think it should take two hours, I would say, because you have to take into account that that you have to run back and forth because you can't hold all of the resources in your inventory at once. You have to run down because like in this playthrough where I'm not using any free build mode, I have a train and I literally wrapped the train around the tower and I was running back and forth between the train and the top of the stack, and I was using the hypertube cannon to quickly scale that distance because I couldn't fit everything in my pocket. So the train was literally holding everything, and I think the train was like 24 cars long to hold all the parts that I needed to actually build the entire thing. But if you're just building it in free mode, where you don't have to, where building the blueprints are free, I'm pretty sure you could easily do it in like an hour, I think.
So just the sheer logistics of getting up and down and inventory space becomes a major issue on a scale like this. I mean, it's obvious in hindsight, but you wouldn't think so when you start. You'll be like, no, I'm fine. But yeah, you basically need an old school supply train, just keep running back and forth the whole time.
Yep. And I've done all of that in the live stream, so you guys can go watch that
Nice.
and laugh at me as I swear and stuff.
Oh, excellent. All right. But yeah, like I said, the tower is really impressive. The first time I actually jumped into the save and just stood back and just look at the thing, I was like, it's crazy. And even in the video, when I go up the hypertube, that just never gets old. Just the sheer amount of time it takes for you to go all the way up at quite an accelerated rate. It still takes a minute. In fact, in the video, what I did was, and they would have seen it earlier, is I just jumped off the top of the tower and timed myself going down, and it was just about 60 seconds to free fall all the way down. That just kind of shows you the sheer size of the thing. It's quite impressive. And the fact that you can see it from just about almost any biome.
Yep.
Before I let you go, give yourself a shout out, because I know you said you got this YouTube, there's a Twitch, you got live streams, you got your ebooks, you got your VTuber thing going on. Just have at it.
You can find me on streaming both on YouTube and Twitch under the name Uncle Samael. And if you go to my Twitch about page, you'll see a link that says read my books, and that's my bio link. And if you click on that, it'll show you all my links. So it'll show you like the Twitch link, the YouTube link, the Satisfactory blueprint page, where you can grab all my blueprints for free. And it includes the links to Royal Road and Amazon as well.
I'll be sure to share your links. So thank you so much for sharing the blueprint, allowing me the time to inspect it. I hope everybody enjoys it, and all the download links and all the relevant links will be available in the description below. So if you guys are interested to check it out, I highly encourage you to. And that's it for today's video. If you want to check out my blueprints, you can see my Patreon link below. Also, feel free to join my Discord. And that's it for today, and I'll see you on the next one.